Like in my mind, I was really starting to just think to myself, like, should I kill myself? I started cutting
Wow.
myself. I remember cutting on myself, my chest, the word die, and just, it was like, what the
Oh,
hell was I thinking? And I was thinking to myself, okay, what am I going to do? Am I really going to kill myself? Right now, a lot of men are dealing with that, and they're wearing this mask like, shh, I'm a badass, but
right.
behind that mask, there's a lot of anger. But if you go even deeper, behind that anger, there's a lot of crying. There's a lot of crying that has not been done. And behind that crying, there's a little boy just sitting in the corner needing to be healed. I even remember this story of this 60-year-old man when I spoke at a rehab center, and he goes up to me and he says, "Hey man, nobody's ever told me that they believe in me. Many people will leave the universe without a trace."
Ladies and gentlemen, today I have a very special guest with me. He is a motivational speaker and a coach. Joining me today on the Reinvent You podcast is Andres Ruiz. Today, we are going to discuss the power of taking the leap of faith, the power of having a coach and a mentor, and how important it is to develop a high level of self belief. Andres, welcome to the Reinvent You podcast. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate this. This is awesome. I love the name of the podcast. That's awesome. And especially now is as the time to reinvent yourself more than ever.
Right.
I really believe. So
Yeah,
thank you for having me.
and if you notice, it used to be called the Work That Out podcast.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
like that one too. I like that.
yeah, and but it just didn't have that same ring. I felt like people didn't know exactly what it was about. So that was,
Ah,
yeah, the motivation for that. So, but again, thank you so much. So, Andres, I want to start off with, I think it's so special. The point of my podcast is to shine a light on people who have taken these leaps of faith, people who are changing their life to get there more, and people who are just living the life that they've created on their terms. So if you can begin, just tell us who Andres is, what was your calling that pulled you out of an area of work into coaching, into motivational speaking. Just tell us a little bit of your story just to introduce yourself to the audience.
thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So when I first got started, actually before all this got started, I remember I was working at a job that I hated. I was working customer service jobs for so many years, and that was the only real skill set that I had. I didn't have any other skill sets, and I was just miserable. I was constantly asking myself, like, is there something more out there for me? Can I do
Yeah.
more than this, what I'm doing with this life? And I just wouldn't do anything different. I was doing the same thing over and over again, working 9 to 5, going to watch basketball for about 4 or 5 hours, having a beer, having some dinner, going to sleep to do the exact same thing all over again. And then just waiting for Thursday, 2 for 1 Thursdays, let's go get some drinks. Fridays, it's the cat house. Saturdays,
Yeah.
let's go watch college football. Sundays, let's watch Sunday night football.
Yeah.
Monday night football. Tuesdays, volleyball. Okay, I didn't watch volleyball, uh, but it was always an excuse, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just go escape life. And
Right.
so I kept that going for many years. I was drinking a lot of alcohol. I was taking pills while I was drinking alcohol just to get a good high. I
Wow.
was doing cocaine. At one point, we were doing a cocaine for 2 days straight. A friend of mine and myself, and almost overdosed on cocaine at one point in my life. And it was just a really scary moment in my life. I when that was going on, I felt like I started thinking about documentaries and movies, and I said, "Damn, like this, I'm about to die." And so it was just really scary. I was also overweight. I was weighing 265 pounds and was even more depressed because of my physique. So I was in a really tough spot. And then thankfully, I found out I was going to have a baby, and that changed my
Hmm.
life forever. I said to myself, if there's another human depending on me, he was my
Yeah.
why, the reason why I had to get off this self-destructive path. So got on a diet, lost 80 pounds, felt in the best shape of my life, and then started working through personal development on myself. And I remember one day waking up and saying, damn, like here we go again, another Monday morning. And I remember putting on Les Brown, a
Oh,
motivational audio by Les Brown. Man,
love
Les
him.
Brown, I love him, man.
Yes,
He's my
yes.
boy. He doesn't even know it, but he's like a brother to me. I remember one thing that he said, many people will leave the universe without a trace. And
Mm,
under their name, you can put not used up. And I said,
wow.
damn, that really hit.
Yeah, that's
That hit
profound.
profound as heck. And I was like, that's me. So then I started listening to audios more and more and just started getting motivated. And that inspired me to do something that I've been wanting to do since I was 12, which was stand-up comedy. So
So cool.
quite the trace I wanted to leave behind, right? And
Yeah.
so I started doing stand-up comedy. I mean, I was terrible. I would just get crickets, you know. First time I went to go do stand-up comedy, my buddy went with me, and he was the only one laughing. So that's how terrible it was. And I think he felt he owed it to me because you know I spotted him some dinner
Right.
that night. So he's like, you know, I'm gonna give him a little giggles here and there, but he's terrible. And so that led to me saying, you know what, I want to be a better comedian. So then I heard Les Brown talking about Toastmasters. I joined Toastmasters. I refined my comedian skills. I got a little bit better, but then that inspired me to become a motivational speaker. And that's the beauty about when you pursue your goals and your dreams,
Mhm.
you will start to find other things that other niches that interest you. And so I did motivational speaking, which then led to life coaching. And that's how I became a motivational speaker and a coach. So just kind of in a nutshell, that's
Right.
my story right
Right.
there.
Oh, wow. That's a great story. You've wrapped that up like a nice little Christmas present. I love that.
Thank you.
So, something I really want to unpack is when you were at that level of doing cocaine, you're doing pills while you're drinking, because lots of times our personalities and, maybe we don't have enough going on in our life that's, that you hadn't had the baby yet. So you didn't figure out your why. But so much of it is because of peer pressure. It's because of the friends you're hanging at. You're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, right? And so finding yourself in that place, how easy or how hard was it for you to claw your way out, especially pulling away from that set of friends?
Ooh, great question. I love that question. Peer pressure is so huge nowadays. Uh, that back then, I remember I was just worried that if I didn't join my friends for a drink or some cocaine,
Yeah.
that I would kind of like be kicked out of the circle.
Yeah.
And it was like we're living in the survival mode. Like if we're living in the ancient times, you know, where we were just hunting for food and all this stuff, but nowadays we're just scared that, oh my god, what if my buddy rejects me, or
Yeah.
what? And it was just so hard to step away from that, because I'll even tell you a story of how hard it was. I remember one time I was taking antibiotics, and because I had some bacteria,
Mhm.
and I don't want to get too, it's a little nasty, but my fat toe,
I can
and
imagine.
yeah, so you can imagine.
Yeah.
And then I remember I wasn't drinking that day because I had to take out the antibiotics, and my friend
Mhm.
said, "Oh, it's gonna be like that, man. You're not gonna drink. That's messed up.
Right.
Stop being such a punk." I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
And then I said, "Oh man," and I started thinking to myself, "Should I just drink?" And then I got the beer, started drinking. My friend was like, "Yeah, all right, man." And I
Right.
said, "Cool." I was worried that I was gonna upset my buddy. I cared more about this guy
Didn't
than my
that
freaking
toe?
toe. Yeah. And
Yeah.
my toe got worse, of course, because I was drinking, led to more
Yeah.
things. And that's just so hard to, it's about acceptance. We want to be accepted. We feel that we're gaining love from these people for doing something that is not good for us.
Mhm.
But we're more worried about what they say than what we say. So it was really hard for me to step away from that. But when I found out I was gonna have a baby, that little by little I started getting away from those people. I started distancing myself, with
Right.
respect. And little by little, they would tell me, "Hey, Andres." I'll even give you an example. I was cooking some eggs one time. It was 5 in the morning, and I'm cooking up some eggs. My kids are playing; they're little. And then my friend calls me up, and I'm like, "Oh, this guy's probably drunk or something." I'm like, "Hey, what's up, man?" He's like, "Hey, what's up, bro? How you
I
doing?
love it.
Hey, come on over, man. We got some girls. We got cocaine." I'm like, "Dude, I'm cooking eggs with some kale right now
Right.
here for my kids." He's like, "The hell is kale, man?" It's like, I've never heard of kale. And I was like, "Yeah, never gonna know, man. It ain't weed, that's for sure."
Right,
And
right.
then he's like, "Oh, okay, cool." And little by little, they didn't even call me anymore because they're like, "Nah, this guy, he's boring, you
Yeah.
know. And little by little, I started, the beauty about when you distance yourself from people like that,
Hmm.
you start to bring in beautiful people like yourself, you know.
Yeah.
I get to meet you, I get
Thank you.
to meet be people who are on the journey that we all are on.
Absolutely.
And those people, they can continue doing what they're doing, and it's okay, you know, love and
Right.
respect, but from a distance.
Oh, I love that. Thank you for sharing so much of that. I love it. I love it when you go into your accent, Andres. I love that, you know.
Yeah.
So I know that you work with high school students, right? And the thing about it is, as a young adult, it's hard to distance it. Like, what age were you when you were, when you're like, I've seen the light, I'm going to distance myself, no more cocaine, no more drink, and, all that. What age was that?
That was like in my late 20s.
Okay. So the further you get away from your teenage years, so because I know you work with a lot of high school students, how do you provide a plan for them and so that they can find a level of acceptance, not external validation, but within themselves, so that they can be okay with being themselves and not fall so deep into peer pressure, kind of
Mm.
like you did, kind of like we all have. But it's easier to me, I think it's easier as an adult to pull yourself out of that because you're more rational, you've got kids. But what if you don't have those things?
Yeah, damn, these are great questions, man. This is awesome. So pretty much what I do with them is I tell them stories.
Hmm.
When I speak to them, I give them a tool after the story, but first I want them to just go, whoa,
Yeah.
that hit. Just how I talk about my personal experience when I tell them, and I ask them, because I'm doing this special thing for this college where it's called Under the Stars, and
Hmm.
we're doing every Friday. We meet at 8 p.m. and I'm giving this workshop to about 30 kids, and we get into it. Man, I just get goosebumps right now thinking about it, because I tell them, drop it in the chat, keep it real. Have you ever felt
Right.
this way? Have you ever felt jealousy? Have you ever felt envy? Have you ever felt that cousin
Hmm.
betrayed you because he said something that he shouldn't have said? And then they start putting yes all the time, boom, boom, boom. And then they start sending me private messages where they're like, hey, mister, like, this is what's going on with my life. And they share
Yeah.
so much intimates of why, because I am willing to be vulnerable. I am willing to be authentic and keep it real with them and say, hey man, look, this is me. I Okay, I am a motivational speaker and a coach, but I am human. I am
Hmm.
nobody special. And what I'm trying to say to you is that you have something special within you. And then they tell me, I don't have any support. Well, I'm here to tell you, I'm here to support you, and I believe
Yeah.
in you. You have greatness within you. And they're like, what? I even remember this story of this 60-year-old man when I spoke at a rehab center, and he goes up to me and he says, hey man, nobody's ever told me that they believe in me. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Oh.
I appreciate it. And it's just so powerful. I also remember the older man, like in his late 50s, and we did a forgiveness meditation, and he came up to me and said, you know what? I finally forgave that man that molested me when I was 5 years old.
Oh.
I finally
Wow.
forgave him. And imagine if somebody would have just said to that 5-year-old, hey son, forgive him. Let me show
Right.
you. Let me give
I
you these
believe in you.
tools.
Yeah.
I believe in you. I love you. You are beautiful. You are strong. You are bold. And then imagine if we were to do that for these kids,
Hmm.
and would they end up in drugs? The guy was suffering because he had so much shame. So much shame. I mean, imagine just being molested at 5 years old. And then
Right.
you hear friends, come on, let's keep it real. The talks that we have with friends, oh man, that stuff, man. Oh man, you're gay, or you're this, you're
Right.
that. And
Right.
we start getting like defensive, and we're like, yo, I better not talk about that. If you got molested,
Hmm.
how are you going to talk about that? Because then people might make fun of you, which they won't make fun of you. They'll probably support you, but there's so much stigma that, you got to be macho and you got to be a badass and all that stuff. Ah, man, that stuff is done, So it's just so impactful right now, especially right now for me. I want to save that youth that's struggling right now.
Yeah.
So he won't get to that 60-year-old man who is in a rehab center.
Right.
What if we were to save these kids before they even get to that point where
Hmm.
they're just so messed up? At 60 years old, it is going to be so hard to change a broken man.
Absolutely.
But at 18, whew, there's so much hope right there.
Right. Oh, I love that. Trent Shelton, I love Trent Shelton. I follow him as well. And
Oh
one
yeah.
of my favorite quotes that he says is, my transparency can lead to other people's transformation. Right. And
Ooh.
so, speaking to when you said, you're becoming very vulnerable, and this is transparent, right? So as a man, because I know vulnerability is so hard for males, much harder than it is for females. How did you dig deep and go, I'm just going to lay it all out there. I'm going to let people know what I went through. How did you develop that level of vulnerability?
Oh my God. It took so much courage to do that. And
Yeah.
just working on my mindset constantly and having that support of people that were there for me and saying, yo, man, I believe in you. Like, I remember I would go to MLM, what's it called? Events. And they're like, I see something special in you, man. You have greatness within you. I'm like, what? Really? Me for reals? Like, are you seeing me? Are you
Is
sure?
somebody behind me?
I
What are
know.
you
Yeah.
talking
You
about?
talking to, no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And so just having that support system was so powerful to be able to express myself that way. But then another thing, I remember one time I was going to give a speech in front of like a big audience of hundreds of kids, and I was starting to think, shit, damn, like, oh my God, these kids are probably going to criticize me. They're probably going to think I'm dumb. Or I started thinking, I started having flashbacks,
Yeah.
like how when we're kids and we're like, oh look, here comes Mr. Wedgie, because
Right,
Mr. Wedgie,
right.
he always had a wedgie, and you're like,
Yeah.
hey, Mr. Wedgie, he's coming. Watch out, look, Mr. Wedgie.
Yeah.
And he's, oh dude, look, he's got a, damn, that thing is deep in there. And I'm like, dude, so you're thinking, God, am I gonna have a wedgie? Am I gonna have a booger? Am I
Something.
gonna have so just this
Yeah.
insecurities. And then so I call my coach and I'm like, yo, hey man, like right now I'm so scared. I don't even know if I want to do this. And he says, you know what? Stop being so selfish and thinking about your fears and
That's
start thinking
right.
about the people you're going to serve. And I said, okay, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
going to stop being a little punk and I'm going to go and serve these kids. And that day, I remember that I gave the speech and it was so powerful that when we were leaving, when I was leaving, a young girl came up to me and she said, hey, I just want to say thank you so much for giving me your speech. I've been to 8 psychiatric homes. I've been to 5
Oh,
different foster homes. My family's in Michigan, and I was going to commit suicide tomorrow.
wow.
And then she said, but now that I heard your story, I want to talk to somebody because I feel like I'm not alone anymore.
Hmm.
And that day we took her to the counselor and a life was saved because of that. And that was the day. I heard this quote by Mark Twain where he says that there's 2 days that are the most important days of your life: the day that you were born and the day you found out why. That
Yeah.
day I found out why I was born, and it's to save lives.
Wow. I love that. I love that. I heard you say that on, I watched your video for it was the NAMI.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
not
And I was
national
like,
mental illness.
yeah, and I was like, oh my God, that's so powerful. The day you were
Yeah.
born and the day, because what have you ever heard of the poem The Dash?
No.
Yeah, so the dash is all about, sometimes it's read at people's funerals, but it's all about people pay attention to, oh, the year they were born and then the year they died, and they never pay attention to that dash,
Ooh, that's
right?
deep,
And
yo.
so it's like if we spent more time
Damn.
thinking about the dash, you know,
Mm,
how
I love
much
that.
more fulfilled could we be?
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
deep.
yeah.
I love that.
So so I want to talk now about taking a leap of faith. Steve Harvey he calls it, jumping. Sometimes I'm like, oh, jump in the middle of the Indian Ocean, and because I mean, that's really deep, but I'm a person who I only allow myself to jump if I see the net. Some
Mm.
people can jump without even thinking that a net will appear because they're just so confident that they know it will appear. What is your level of faith? How did you take a big leap of faith? What was that huge leap of faith? And how do you encourage other people to do that?
Man,
That's a
yeah,
loaded one, huh?
dude. No, yeah. What I'm thinking right now is just when I did take a few leaps and I just failed. I remember the first leap I ever took, I was just scared shitless. I was just
Yeah.
like, oh my God, what did I just do? I remember the first time quitting one of my jobs, and I was sitting there and I was thinking, okay, after a big conference that I went to Vegas, I was like, I'm gonna quit my job. I'm gonna get my 401k out. I'm gonna do this. And then I got to work and I said, oh my God, I don't know if I'm gonna do this. And then I started listening to some audios, and then I remember sitting there and listening to Eric Thomas, and then he says,
Mhm.
and I was listening on my break, and he said, "You must be willing to sacrifice who you are for what you will become." And I said, "I'm quitting right now." And I went up to my supervisor. I said, "Hey, can I talk to you? privately, and she says, "Are you okay? Like, yeah, I just want to talk to you." And then I was sitting there, and then she said, "Yeah, I'll be there in a little bit." And I said, "Man, get your ass in here already. I want to say this already." I was too
Yeah.
scared because I was like, "Don't make me like change my mind." And then finally she went in there, and I said, "Mary, I'm putting in my 2 weeks notice." She said, "What?" She said, "Are you sure?" And I said, "Yeah." "What are you gonna do?" And I said, "Yeah, just I didn't even know what the hell I was gonna
I don't
do."
know.
But in my mind I said, "No, it's because I have some new opportunities."
Yeah,
Not really,
yeah.
not really. But I said I have some new opportunities that came up. And in my mind I was thinking I already cashed my 401k. So yeah, I'm gonna leave. And she said, "But the pay is good. Why would you leave?" It's something new. I didn't even know what to say. And she said, "Okay, well, I'll get the paperwork." And then I remember when I was driving home, I said, "What the hell did I just do?"
Yeah.
I had no idea. I had no idea what I had just done. But I took a leap of faith. In that leap of
Right.
faith, I fell flat on my face because after that, I was living in fear. My
Mm-hmm.
401k ran out, and pretty much just had to go back to work again.
Right.
But now the leap of faith that I've been taking now have been from this leap of faith that I believe that it's going to work out for me. And it's
Mm-hmm.
not so much, I can kind of see the net in my mind, but at the same time, I'm not 100% sure if it's going to work out.
Yeah.
Like the other day, I got a call and then they said, "Hey, just to let you know, the funding for that big grant that we got, it might not go through." And I said, "It's all good. I'm going to be all right.
Yeah.
I'm going to work something out." And then just by having that faith of focusing on the solution rather than the problem is so powerful, because this is no lie. About 2 weeks later, I get a call and then they're like, "Hey, you know what? We have an opportunity for a keynote. It's virtual, pretty good pay." And I said, "Okay, cool. Let's do it.
Let's
Let's
do
do
it.
it." And I
Yeah.
just had some, but then what's even crazier is that weeks later, the grant people are saying, "Okay, hey, it looks like it's going to be coming back. We definitely want you." And I said, "You know what? I'm just going to leave it all in God's hands. And I'm just
Yeah.
going to say that, you know what? Whatever happens from here was supposed to happen. And there's a reason why it happened. And I'm going to have faith that everything's going to work out for me. I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
be optimistic despite when things go wrong,
Right.
despite when the stuff, it gets hard. It's
Mm-hmm.
all right. I'm going to focus on service. I'm going to serve, and that
Right.
is it." And so for me to take just leaps sometimes is just, and then also what really helps me out is my coach. I have a
Mm-hmm.
coach who is just a badass, honestly. He has so much courage. He makes me courageous. When I'm around him, I
Mm-hmm.
feel like, ooh, I feel great. I feel amazing. I feel like
Yeah.
everything's going to work out. So just having that mentor, that coach, that you see that confidence in him, man, it gives you
Right.
so much confidence, has so much faith in yourself.
Yeah, definitely. So I do want to talk more about your coach and mentor, but I want to, I always want to go back and unplug something here that you said. So were you married with kids when you went and had that conversation with Mary?
Yeah.
Wow. How,
Hmm.
well, you see, it's because it's easier if it's just you, right? And then be
Yeah.
like, oh, I can do whatever. But now you have responsibility. What did
Ooh.
your wife say?
Well, she thought it was crazy. And then, and I'll be honest with you, we went through some tough times during that time.
Yeah,
It was really hard. It was not easy.
right.
Uh, it was, God, now that I think about it, oh, I'm feeling it like right now. It was just not easy. We had some really tough discussions,
Hmm.
arguments. I was not in an emotional space where I could really control my emotions like I can now.
Hmm.
And sometimes, yeah, we would have get in big arguments. And oh man, that was a tough time. Really, it really
Yeah.
was. But I'm so grateful that I went through that suffering. Now that I look at all these things that I went through, I mean, even in high school, because I tell the kids about what I went through. That I went through cutting, suicidal thoughts. I went through a lot of crazy stuff, like in high
Hmm.
school during my mid 20s, almost overdosing, all that crazy stuff. I'm grateful for it. I say to myself, I'm grateful because now I get to serve with my experiences,
Yeah.
with the experiences that I've been to. And now with my wife, like it was hard. It was not easy, but mentally and emotionally, we have gotten so much better because of it.
Wow. So tell me a little bit about you have this story, what was it that you leaned on? Because again, it just sounds, because if I'm listening to this, the first thing I'm thinking about, yeah, it's easier for him. Where did you pull that strength for? Because you didn't have a coach then.
No.
Was it all just through prayer and, because you're still married to the same woman, yes?
Hmm.
Perfect. So where does that strength come from? Because it keeps sound easier said than done.
Hmm.
What can someone take from this? Is like, no, man, I'm in that situation right now. What can I do now?
Yeah. No. So for me, honestly, listening to audios all the time,
Okay.
constantly listening in my ear, Les Brown,
Yeah.
constantly Tony Robbins, and I'm telling you, I'm addicted to audios. Every time for this morning, man, I woke up, I listened to it. I was listening to, I think, who was it? Brendan Burchard, I think, or I listened to so many people, Brendan Burchard, Jay Shetty, all these guys. And so
Yeah.
these guys were like my mentors and my coaches when I didn't have one. And also, well, like for example, with my wife, she supports with the kids. She's always taking care of the kids. She's always watching the kids, and she
Mhm.
loves being a mother. She says that's my purpose, like to be a mother. And she's just so happy that she gets to just be here at home
Yeah.
while I do all this work and with work that I love. Shoot, I tell you, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now because I love my kids. I love them, love them,
Of
love them.
course.
But the patience that she has is not even close to what with me. I'm like, damn, like, how do you do that? It's
Yeah.
amazing how you can do that. And so having that support from whether it's your spouse or maybe it's your mentor, your coaches, but also having that in your ear all the time,
Yeah.
reprogramming that subconscious. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes I still have my fears creep up.
Of
And
course.
sometimes I have like that shame, that guilt, that embarrassment. And then
Yeah.
I talk to myself and I say, wait, what's up with this thought? Where is this thought coming from?
Hmm.
And I analyze the thoughts. I analyze what I'm going through. So anybody who's getting started, listen to audios, reprogram your mind. Because I
Hmm.
was talking to a man the other day who said, I have to start changing what I'm listening to, man. I'm watching too many of the stuff that's going on in the news. I'm watching a lot of negative stuff on Netflix. Netflix can really program your mind to think a certain way, that you have to be a certain way to be cool as a kid. I know I
Hmm.
was raised by TV, watching Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, watching stand-up comedy and all this stuff. That stuff can have a negative impact on you because you
Hmm.
feel that because these guys make millions, that's the way life is, when really it's
Absolutely.
not.
Right.
So you have to be aware of what you're listening to, what you're watching, and who you're surrounding yourself with. I know we hear this all the time. Be
Yeah.
careful who you hang out with, but man, it is so damn true.
It is.
Stop. Be careful. Set boundaries and say, "Hey, man, you know what? The way you talk to me, I don't appreciate it. I would
Yeah.
really appreciate if you could check yourself right there. And if they don't check themselves, then you know what? You can just get rid of those people. You don't have to allow somebody to mess up your life because it
Hmm.
only takes one person to ruin your whole life. And it's like that quote that Les Brown says, one rotten apple can spoil the whole batch.
The whole
One negative
batch.
person can ruin your whole life.
Right. Yeah. Because you've now allowed yourself to be defined by that. Wow. So
Absolutely.
you keep saying, I mean, you have such a great, like, deep story. And so, I would be remiss if I didn't touch on your suicidal thoughts, and I know you're a part of a group, that's called Ending the Silence Movement. Can you talk to that, the place where you were, and then talk a little bit about that movement?
Yeah. So when I was, the suicidal thoughts came when I was in high school. So in high school, I was dating a girl for years. We were dating since we were 13. And, this wasn't a holding hands relationship. You know what I mean? It was
Right.
intimate. We were dating for some time. And I'll be honest, I wasn't the nicest boyfriend. I was a kid. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Like
Hmm.
I could be an ass sometimes, a lot of times actually. And then when she broke up with me, it was extremely devastating. I was just like, I was very the type of person like, no, this is not gonna happen. Like, how is she gonna break up with me? No.
Right.
Like, I felt like I owned her, type of thing. and so and that's the thing that a lot of kids deal with, is like they feel like they're entitled to a lot of things. And it's not
Hmm.
even just kids, it's a lot of grown-ups too. But when that happened, I was devastated and I didn't know how to deal with it. I didn't know how to deal with my emotions. I thought my world was falling apart.
Right.
And I remember one time I was crying, and then my dad saw me crying. And coming from a Mexican family, that's a big no-no. He
Yeah.
saw me crying, and he's like, "Hey, don't be crying, big head.
Big head.
He used to call me Big Head. You know, I'm starting to grow into my head a little bit. I'm getting there. but when my dad said that, I was extremely devastated. I was like, I felt so much shame. The shame was just huge. And I
Yeah.
said, I'm not gonna tell this guy what's going on with my life, because then, you know, he'll tell me the same thing. And when we were growing up, we were always told, don't be telling people what's going on with our lives, because then people will spread rumors or criticize you.
Mm-hmm.
And I believed it to a certain extent, but what made me believe in it more was when I would see those conversations amongst family, when everybody was talking smack about so and so, and they're like, no, did you hear what he did? Oh my God, it's so terrible. Hey, how you doing? What's going on? What's up?
Right, right.
You know, and they look at they're like, shh, ah, yeah, I like your shirt. Yeah. So
I love it.
and then you're thinking, oh damn, I better not do that, because
Yeah.
then they're gonna be talking smack about me. So I kept a lot of these emotions to myself,
Mm-hmm.
and it just got worse. I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep. I was kind of feeling delusional. I was starting to like, I was going crazy, honestly. Like in my mind, I was really starting to just think to myself, like, should I kill myself? I started cutting
Wow.
myself. I remember cutting on myself in my chest, the word die, and just, it was like, what the
Oh.
hell was I thinking? And I was thinking to myself, okay, what am I gonna do? Am I really gonna kill myself? And nobody knew about it, what I was suffering. Because when I would go out into the world, everything was like, hey, what's up? Hey, what's up, fool? Like, yeah, you know, trying to be cool.
Right,
We're always
right.
trying to be cool, you know. Man, stop being such a punk,
Yeah.
you know, cry baby. And then I go home like, cry.
To
And
yourself. Yeah.
to myself, exactly,
Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
don't want nobody to see me crying. Hey, you
Mhm.
crying? Nah, man, something got in my eye, you know.
Right.
Yeah, the Green Mile, yeah, that was a good movie. Yeah, whatever, man. Yeah, made me cry. Shoot, I don't cry. I'm a man.
Right.
So, but then it's like I was always wearing a mask, and
Mm-hmm.
but behind that mask, there was a lot of depression. There was a lot of anxiety, and right now, a lot of men are dealing with that, and they're wearing this mask like, I'm a badass, you know. But
Right.
behind that mask, there's a lot of anger. But if you go even deeper, behind that anger, there's a lot of crying. There's a lot of crying that has not been done, and behind that crying, there's a little boy just sitting in the corner needing to be healed.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen these grown men, you know, there's a lot of
Absolutely.
grown men that, you know, they're tough and all, but really it's a little boy that needs to be hugged. It's a little boy that needs to be healed.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember a great book by a friend of mine, and I probably connect you with him too, Raul. He has this book called Heal the Boy, and I think, what is it? I'm going to butcher it. Heal the Boy and the Man Will Appear.
Oh,
Deep, huh?
yeah, it
Yeah.
is. Yeah. Got to heal that
Yeah.
inner child.
Heal
Wow.
that inner child. So I think that's that. So yeah, that's pretty much what I was going through with my suicidal thoughts. Thankfully,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I had friends that I could at least talk to. I couldn't talk about my stuff, but
Right.
I at least could just have a conversation. And just if we were able to talk to somebody, it could save so many lives by
Absolutely.
simply talking to somebody.
Right. Right. So, how did you become a part of the Ending the Silence movement?
Oh, so I went to, I remember this was when I first got started, kind of like doing my public speaking, trying to get out there, just trying to put my name out there. And I
Yeah.
remember I went to a Chamber of Commerce meeting, and I was sitting there with, it was like about 16 women, 16 business owners, and I was the
Mm-hmm.
only man there. And I was like, damn, these women are powerful. I was intimidated, man.
Yeah.
And I remember I was sitting right next to Christina, who is she's the executive director, and she started talking about what she did. And so I started a conversation with her. I kind of told her about my story, and she said, hey, maybe you could join our team, and you know, we are looking for speakers. And I said, cool, let's do it. So then I talked to Judy. Oh man, Judy is amazing. I love her. She's such an angel to me. Oh, I love her so much. I was talking to her today, and then I connected with Marcy, like all these older ladies that they just,
I
oh man,
just
they show
love
so,
you.
they love me and I love them. And oh, this, it's so awesome to be around those women who,
Yeah.
they're always like, Andres, you're doing so great. And they're always like motivating me. I'm
Mm-hmm.
motivating them. And so that's how I got into it. And then I just started sharing my story,
Right.
sharing my story. And then today I'm going to be going in a couple of weeks. I'm going to be traveling to to go give my story about my depression, anxiety to
Mm-hmm.
about, I don't know how many kids, but it's going to be a pretty big crowd. Distance and all that is going to be there, but
Yeah,
it's been such a blessing to be able to share my story and to save lives, literally save lives.
absolutely.
And that's just, yeah. So that's how pretty much I got involved with,
Perfect.
yeah.
Yeah, with the End the Silence. Very cool. So you mentioned that you have a coach, you have a mentor. We all, I feel like you and I have so much in common. Like every name that you said, Brendan Burchard, he has no idea, but he was the pivotal person who absolutely changed my life when I
Yes.
went to his high performance academy when it came here to Phoenix.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh,
Ooh,
completely life changing.
I bet.
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
bet.
So it's one of my goals is to speak on his stage because he was that person for me.
You will.
It's
You will.
yeah. So yeah, I'm throwing it out there to the universe. So
Ah, yeah.
so I have a friend who I'm African American. A lot of black
Mhm.
people don't believe in the power of a coach. And, like I never even heard of, the only coach I knew of was my high school coach, my college coach, my sports coach, when I'm
Yeah.
playing sports. And so I had a friend who said, I can't believe so and so went and paid $600 for some self development. And I was like,
Yeah.
that's it? That's all she paid?
I know. Yeah. Yeah.
And so I never understood outside of playing sports the power of a mentor, the power of a coach. And you were speaking about how you're so inspired and you feel so alive. Do you always have your own coach? Have you had more than one coach?
Yeah. No,
So
yeah, I have had more than one coach,
yeah.
and it's it's been, I guess, these coaches, honestly, they have been a big part of my life,
Hmm.
and they've inspired me so much. And what I'm always looking for is just like a coach who is just like at another level where I
Yeah.
want to be. And so if they're doing something that I see that they're doing that I want to do, then I look for that. For example, like the coaches that I've had before, it was more about coaching, not so
Hmm.
much about speaking. But the coach that I have now, well, he's a speaker and a coach. And
Oh,
so
nice.
that helps out a lot. And it's just been such an amazing ride. Honestly, I consider him like a really good friend because now we're colleagues. We're first it was more like a coaching.
Yeah.
It's still coaching, but now he's seeing he tells me, he's like, man, I see a lot of potential in you that even I want to bring you on board to do some things with me and things
Right.
like that. So that's what it's crucial to have a coach, I think, in order for us to
Absolutely.
take our life to the next level. But we have to be inspired by this coach so that we
Yeah.
can, do what kind of like what they're doing. Yeah.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, I've gone through some, several programs, but my biggest transformation was when I worked with my own coach, and that was Christina Berkeley, who
Mm,
just, yeah, so many. I was like, what? Is that what you see in me? Pointed out all those blind spots, got me
yeah.
to take leaps of faith because she
Wow.
believed in me more than I believed in myself.
Yes.
And so I'm always a pretty confident person, but there again, I'm a person who needs to see the net before I jump.
Hmm.
And so
Yeah.
I'm working on kind of trying to meet that halfway, right? So,
Yeah.
Andres, let's talk a little bit about, I know is are you a new author? Is this your first work? I want to talk about your book, Morning Warrior Secrets. And I
Mm.
know it comes out on, well, by the time this episode drops, it will have come out on October 20th. And I know
Yeah.
right now it's for pre-sale for like 99 cents.
Yeah.
What was your motivation? Where did that come from within you to write Morning Warrior Secrets? Tell us a little bit about that project.
Cool. Thanks for mentioning that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So the Morning Warrior Secrets has been transformative in my life. I uh, I picked up a lot of morning rituals through Tony Robbins, Brendan Burchard, all these great guys, and
Hmm.
I just picked the ones that I really liked. And it, this Morning Warrior Secrets has transformed my life.
Hmm.
If every day I do my morning rituals, that's why I wake up super early. A lot of people think I'm crazy because I go to sleep at 8. So that's why I wake up at 2:50 in the morning, because a lot of people are like, why do you
Wow.
wake up at 2:50 in the morning? Well, because I go to sleep at 8, kind of like a grandpa, like a tata. Tata means a
Tata.
grandpa. I know. The other day I told the guy, I was like, yeah, I'm like a tata. And he's like, dude, I was thinking about something else. I wasn't thining about grandpa. And I was like, yeah, I know what you were thinking about. Yeah, but
Right.
So I pretty much, so I wake up early and then I get it started with some incantations. So I tell myself powerful incantations, kind of like with Tony Robbins, like, now I am the voice. I will
I
lead,
am.
not follow. I will believe, not doubt. I will create, not destroy. And as I'm doing it, I'm kind of doing like boom, boom. I will lead, not follow. I will
Yeah.
believe, not doubt. I will create. And any anxiety or any kind of fear that's in me is just, I'm blasting it off, just taking it away. And but I do affirmations. I tell myself positive things.
Right.
Actually, you want to do something really quick?
Sure, let's do it.
Okay. So say to yourself right now, touch your heart, and then say to yourself, I believe in myself and I love myself, and breathe it in. We'll say it together. I believe in myself
I believe in myself
and I love myself.
and I love myself.
Breathe it in. And then I breathe out stress. How do you feel right now?
I feel great. Yeah, absolutely.
And it's just powerful just to tell yourself something positive.
Yeah.
Just to get the day started. And then pretty much after that, I do some meditation, I do some yoga, I drink some hot water with some journaling. I do some journaling for a little bit, and then I do some reading, and then I do an intense workout for about 20 to 25 minutes, and then that's how I start my day. And then after that, I take a cold shower. I've been taking cold showers for about almost 2 years.
Yeah.
Changing. It's so powerful.
Absolutely.
And so this Morning Warrior Secrets, it's a very simple book, and I put it just for 99 cents because I just want everybody to get their hands on it, just so it can inspire them. I also have some tools in there that I throw in there, not just in the morning, but throughout the day, what you can do. And the chapters are so simple. It's 68 pages long. Each chapter is like 1 or 2 pages long, just short, sweet, and simple, right to the point. And so, and before this, I had written a book. It was like kind of like a Chicken Soup for the Soul book, but this was like 4 years ago. And it was called The Key to the Road Less Traveled. I could have the title wrong because it was a really long title. It was such a long time ago. But I had that, and then I also wrote another book called I don't even remember. I just spaced out, and I just wrote this like months ago. How to Overcome the Fear of Death. Fearless. How to Overcome the Fear of Death. And that one was really short. And I never put that one out there, which I should, but I just didn't do it. But this Morning Warrior Secrets, I'm really passionate about.
Yeah.
So that's just a little bit, like, in a nutshell, what it is about.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So yeah, it's
hopefully
people will get inspired by it.
Yeah, I love that. Like, I do pretty much everything. I don't do the warm water, but I do everything. And I cannot establish a habit of the cold showers. I mean, I will do it, and then towards the end, I will go cold, like maybe 30 seconds. And so I'm working on that one. Because I know Tony Robbins everybody talks about how great it makes you feel. I know he does a cold plunge, Oh my goodness. So thank you for telling us about, your Morning Warrior Secrets. What would have to happen in your life if we're thinking not just the rest of 2020, but like starting today, a year from now? What would have to happen for this to be the best year of your life?
I love that. For me to be the best year of my life is to have the opportunity to touch even more youth, just to get to the hearts of more youth and inspire more youth, especially now more than ever, because there's a lot of going on with the pandemic. People are really stressing out, and I think our youth need us more than ever. So for me, it would be to inspire even more youth, get to them so that we can make sure that they don't fall into suicidal thoughts, that they don't fall into drug addiction, or anything like that, and to be just truly present when I'm there with them, to just be fully present and just constantly just sharing my story with these kids, and so that they can see that I'm a human, and that they can too be inspired to take their life to the next level, so that if they do see that potential within them, that they believe in themselves and that they can go on to accomplish their goals and their dreams, it'll stop them from going in that negative direction, but rather going in that direction where they can inspire other people. Because I'm only one person, but if I can inspire thousands of people, it's that domino effect. Just boom, boom, boom. Let's save all these lives, and it's just by helping everybody find their life's purpose. I don't hope. I will help more people find their life's purpose this year. And that's another thing. We have to watch our language. As soon as we say, I hope. No, no, no. I
I
will.
will.
Or I can't. No, no, no. I will try. It's possible. Les Brown said it. I can't. No, no. This side, it's possible.
Right.
It's possible. And for you, anybody that's listening, your goals, your dreams, it's possible. It is possible that you can do it. And I believe in you. I don't even care. I don't even know you. I don't even know you, but I believe in you because all of us as human beings, we have unlimited potential. But it's time for us to see that unlimited potential. Because I could tell you, I believe in you, but it doesn't matter if you don't believe in
If you
you.
don't believe yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just a couple more questions. Have you run into Mary since?
Mary?
Mary, the one you went in and said you gave a 2 week
Oh,
notice.
yeah. So no, I haven't run into her, but I do have her as a friend on Facebook.
Okay.
So yeah, so she pretty much, just every now and then like she'll send me a message, but I have not ran into her like
Yeah, yeah.
personally.
It's like,
Especially now, I
see,
don't think it's gonna happen again.
yeah, it's like look at where I am. I did it. See, I took a leap of faith.
Yeah.
So, just the last two questions. I know that I think you recently started the Legacy Coaching Academy.
Yeah.
Tell
Yeah.
me, give us some information about that. How, what's the purpose of it? Who's it for? All those good things.
Cool. Yeah. So Legacy Coaching Academy, I just started this a few weeks ago, and I'm actually in the process of starting my second Legacy Coaching Academy in November. And it's it's been amazing, honestly. We already had in the first 10 days one of the members. She got 3 clients already. Another one is doing so amazing, like a lot of deep inner work. And
Mhm.
I could go on. Like another one found pretty much their life's purpose. I just can't wait for this guy to just take off. But it's been such an amazing experience where at first I was just thinking, I'm going to teach them how to coach. I'm going to teach them how to hone in on their market,
Mhm.
pretty much create their offer. But what I'm really finding out is that these people, they're creating a lot of belief. Like we're creating belief for them, and they're believing in themselves, and they're doing these Facebook lives, and I'm like, whoa, look at this person. Like
Yeah.
they're amazing me. And not only I thought I was going to inspire them, but they're inspiring me more than I was inspiring them. I was like, whoa, these people are on fire.
Yeah.
And so pretty much what it is, it's a 3-month program where it's for pretty much like, if you're a therapist or like a speaker or like just a busy professional that
Mhm.
is looking to maybe make some side income by serving other people and eventually becoming a full-time coach. That's what my goal is,
Yeah.
to help them make a side income and then replacing their full-time income with this part-time thing that they're doing. And
Mhm.
then, so they can run their own calendar, be their own boss, and do work that they enjoy every single day. Every single day when I wake up, I'm excited, man. Like I'm excited to take on the day. I am so pumped. Just every day I say, today's going to be a great day. Boom.
Absolutely.
And so what I'm helping these people is really, there's a lot of belief that's going on. There's purpose. People are finding their life's purpose, and we are creating this purpose. We are creating this beautiful program for them so that they can offer other people, so that people can say, wow, I want that. Like I want to be a part of this program because I
Yeah.
know that they can help me. So pretty much it's for anybody who is ready to just start serving, who's always been curious. Maybe you're on this personal development journey, you're listening to audios and you're listening to courses, programs, but you still haven't
Mhm.
done anything about it. So right here, we're going to put some fire under your feet, and we're going to make sure that you take action and that you inspire other people so that you can make income, but at the same time, change the lives of other people and find your life's purpose. So this program is for anybody who is just been on the fence about just taking their life to the next level. If you're ready to take your life to the next level, I would love to hear from you. We can have a chat and I can give you more information about the program. We also have a page where you can check out all the information as well.
Oh, that's perfect. Man, your dash is going to be so full. So full.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you.
So just the final, you kind of led with it. Where can people find you and connect? Lay down your social handles, your tags, all those things.
Yeah, so you can check me out on ibelieveinmyself.org. And right there, you can check out the Legacy Coaching Academy. We also have a group called Make Money Speaking Online with my colleague Enrique Feldman and I. We are doing, it's called Make Money Speaking Online. So we teach people how to make money speaking online, obviously.
Hmm.
And so you can check me out on ibelieveinmyself.org, or you can send me a private message at Andres Ruiz. You can friend me if you like. And also on Instagram, it's I Believe in Myself Coaching. And also you can check out my podcast if you want. It's called The Common Good Radio Show. And that's pretty much it.
Sounds perfect, man. This has been so enlightening, and it's nice
Yeah.
to, I know we've communicated back and forth on Facebook, but it's nice to, I feel like you and I just sat down and had coffee, we had lunch, we had something, so it's kind of nice to actually see, we can't touch each other right now, but
Yeah.
this has been very nice. Thank you for being so forthcoming and sharing your story with us. And, I look forward to all the things that you're doing, and I'm going to go and get that warrior secrets. So
Nice. Thank you
absolutely. So thank you so much, Andres. If you like what you're hearing, and perhaps you're interested in having a complimentary conversation with me, click the link at the bottom of the show notes. Thank you so much for listening. If you even want to know more about what I'm up to, head over to traviastewart.com. And if you like seeing the videos of the podcast, every episode is on my YouTube channel. Take care, guys.